So SETH is back again. Special effect is the high damage, the final high net damage is increased, but final skill damage is decreased. They are encouraging you to use the Kasumi. Then special effect is every time an ally besides Wonder uses physical or psi move, you will buff other allies' final damage by 40%. So you want to use psi or physical move. And here is the team. We are going to all in this side because Kasumi does more damage and you are able to use 2 supports here. For Haru's side, you need a sustain. Unless you have a higher awareness stuff, then you probably don't need. But yeah, double support means that this is the bigger number side. So you want to all in your twins, your Futaba. Twins, like I already said in my last video, they are better than Turbo. So you can use them here. Or if you want, you can test it with Turbo also and see which one gives you a higher score. If you are A1 twins, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely the better option to put them here. So the very interesting about the twins is that they have a psi skill, which means that you can trigger the special effect, which wants you to use a physical or psi skill. So all you need to do is trigger the psi skill on turns 2 and turn 5 if you're using A0 twins. If you're using A1 twins, you can just not care too much because you're gonna use this every other turn anyways. So Kasumi, here's the Mindscape. Then she is running the Virtue and Wisdom set, and Kasumi is at A0 R0. For stats wise, you need at least 23.5% crit rate, including Navigator, and also 18.4% pierce rate. Then our buffer, on our buffer is the twins. This is their Mindscape. Then they are running Departure Control, very required here for defense debuff. And my twins is A0R1, so 1 dupe on the weapon. Then we have Code. This is the Mindscape. She's running Creation Reconciliation for a 12% damage buff. Then my core is A1R0, which means that she gives 15% crit rate. I forgot to mention for Kasumi just now, if you don't have A1 core, you want 15% more crit rate. Just now I said Kasumi's crit rate was 23.5%. If you only have A0 core, you need this to be 38.5%. So set requirements will be different. Then our Navigator is going to be Futaba. This is the Mindscape, and she is running Resolve Label, and Futaba is A0 R0. As for Tiger, I'm using Starry Compass here because I need the defense debuff. Arc Knife is probably worse here because you don't have... Okay, technically you have Burn with Nian. So I think it's possible to run Arc Knife also, but Starry Compass is good enough for the defense debuff, as long as you hit the 18.4% pierce requirement for Kasumi. And also, the 18.4% is including Max Overclock Shausa. If you don't have Max Overclock, your calculation will be different. So I recommend you to just do the calculation yourself and just adjust your stats accordingly. So first one, Dionysus using Rebellion. Then Shausa, we just need the signature skill. And Nian will need the Rakunda, because the twins can trigger the overclock. For turn order, this is the first time ever I actually used to put twins as second. Usually I put twins as number 1. And the reason why we need the twins to be second is because of the Psi Nuke skill. We want the Psi Nuke skill to be on turns 2 and turn 5, so that the 5th and 6th turn Kasumi will do big damage. And since we use Psi Nuke skill on 2nd and 5th turn, we need to use the Fire Ice skill on the 1st and 4th turn, which means that we need Wonder to be first to apply the Rakunda first, then the twins use Fire Ice skill to apply or trigger the Nian Overclock. So for this case, we must put twins on second. This is a little bit bad because the final turn, the skill tree will move after the Shausa, which means that the Shausa won't get the skill amplification. But this is not as impactful. I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure it's not as impactful as completely missing a 12% damage buff from Nian Overclock. The Shausa is only maybe a little bit, at most maybe 5% increase compared to 12%. First section, we do a Nian Rakunda. Sadly, I have to put twins on second. Because like I explained, I need to use a Psi Nuke skill on the second turn, which means that I need to use Fire Ice skill on the first turn. So that's why. Then we do skill 1. You do skill 2 if you are A0 core. Then skill 2 on core. Taba skill 1 for defense debuff. Then Fire Ice. Then Rebellion. And now use Psi Nuke. This can trigger the special effect, the 40% final damage increase. T1. And Kasumi skill 1. And Futaba skill 3. Start. Shrousa. Increase the highlight damage taken. Then do a twin skill 3. Sadly, I can only use it on second action. Usually I want to do it on first action so that I can buff Wonders damage. No, buff Wonders buff with skill amplification. But at this point, you can check your crit plus 32%. But okay by a bit. Then code highlight. Kasumi highlight. And the skill 3 for big damage. Actually, Kasumi is more than half HP also. Okay, Kasumi skill 3. Then Nien Rakunda. Now the last few turns we pretty much repeat whatever we did. Fire Ice. Then the core skill 2. We delay the highlight a bit. Kasumi skill 2 on core. If your A1 twins target on A1 twins. Because A1 twins can hit like twice or something. Then Futaba skill 1. Side nuke. After attack. Rebellion. Side nuke. So again trigger the special effect. And skill 1. Skill 1. Okay, good. You don't want them to attack Kasumi there, because that would, debuff Kasumi's damage because of the virtue set. You want her to be more than 50% HP. Then start. Rausa. Twin skill 3. Then Fire Ice highlight. You can check Kasumi crit again if you want, plus 32%. It's a bit higher, I think it's because of skill amplification above the Wonders Rebellion just now. So it's a bit higher than the third turn. Then Kasumi highlight. Then code skill 3. That is very good damage. Then skill 3. It should be about 105. I think that might be a new record actually, due to damage variance. No, it's not. So we have the Haru boss next. Same special effect, and the boss gimmick is just Soul Link to absorb the share damage and more damage from ranged attacks. So Haru's gun. And here's the team. So we're using Turbo here because Turbo is unfortunately better than Tempest Wind. And using Turbo here means that I can actually use regular Wind, which is a good thing, because Okian sucks. So let's go through the characters. We have Haru. Here's a Mindscape, running Wisdom Pleasure. And for the stats, you want 38.5% crit rate, but this is for max overclock Shiva. If you don't have max overclock, you need 6% more, so 44.5% crit, which is quite a bit high. For pierce rate, you want 32% or something. But yeah, as you can see, I barely have pierce rate, but it's fine. Pierce rate, not as effective here, so it's fine to not have too many. But of course, ideally you want to get to 0 defense, but if you do that while sacrificing your attack and damage buff, not really worth it. More importantly, crit. As for AoE bosses, you don't want to sacrifice crit or pierce. Next up we have Turbo. If you don't have Turbo, you can run Tempest Wind, which I think many of you have, I hope. Tempest Wind will get you a bit less score, but but she should still get the job done. But if using Tempest Wind, you need a bit less crit rate, because Tempest Wind buffs the crit rate. Here's her landscape, and her cards are Creation Reconciliation, and she's at A0R0. Just make sure you have 195 speed in battle. I know I didn't hit it, but in battle I get like 2 more speed or something from the leaf stand, so I barely hit the cap. Then here's Salamoko, the best sustain for Haru, and actually one of the best sustains in the game right now. Right behind Medic Twins is her landscape. She is running Harmony and Power. If you don't have Salamoko, your next option is gonna be maybe Twins, but I don't recommend using Twins here. Use it for Kasumi. But if you don't have Kasumi, obviously you can put Twins, yes. You can put Twins here also. So it depends on your team. But if you don't have Salamoko, you can run Twins. You can also run Marion or Cherish. Actually, Cherish would be better than Marion. Even A1 Marion. Because Cherish can trigger, because the boss can trigger Cherish's passive because they've spam a bunch of Mazio, so they can shock you. Navigator, this is the landscape. Then Wind is running Integrity Label. This is useful for this team because you have 2 side characters. Then my Wind is A6R3. Dagger, Starry Compass, there's no question here, no debate. Then for Sonas, for some we have Komokuten. Make sure you put in as the first one to trigger the passive here for more crit rate. Then you just need Revolution. Chukokuten, you need Rebellion. And finally Shiva, my Shiva is Max Overclock, you just need Signature Skill. As for turn order, ideally you want to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You want Samoko to be 3rd, so that Samoko gets the buff that Turbo and Wonder applies, then Samoko can do a bit of damage. Because Samoko can trigger the points multiplier, because she is Sai. First turn, you do a Turbo Skill 1. Then Komokuten Revolution of the crit. Samoko Skill 2. Then you can do a Skill 1 here. Then you just wait for a long animation. Well, anyways, if you enjoyed the video, you find the video helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. It's completely free. Yeah, we now do a Wind Skill 1. Apply the defense debuff. You don't trigger the Turbo Extraction yet. You save it for the 3rd turn, because that's where we can do big damage. Do Skill 2. Then the Chikokuten Rebellion. Then a Haru highlight. Skill 3. Haru Skill 3. Yeah, okay, not bad. Just pray that they don't attack you like... They'll attack the same character like 3 or 4 times in a row, because they will probably die. Oh, okay, the dodge, very nice. Okay. And you can do a Wind Skill 3. Because of Turbo's Extraction, you can actually use more than 4 Wind Skills, more than 5 Wind Skills I think. Now we trigger the Extraction. Do a Skill 1. And also Extraction can like force the inside stack to be faster, because inside stack activates every 4 actions, right? Skill 3, make sure your main target Haru. These are important. We'll get more pierce rate buff. Then the side skill from Shiva. Skill 2. Then now we can do a Wind Skill 1. Doing a Wind Skill 1 is nice here because it will apply the defense debuff for next turn. Because the defense debuff will actually end on this turn. So applying it again means that it will last until next turn. So our next turn, our Skill 1 will do more damage. And there's no real drawback to not use it anyways. Then we'll now do a Shiva highlight. I also tested this rotation with a regular 1-3-3-1-3 Wind rotation. The regular rotation got me worse for the start. We use gun, do some good damage. 2 million, not bad. Bit awkward timing of the skill 2. But thankfully we should be able to activate another wind skill 2 later on. Okay, this turn they don't do much damage, which is nice. Then we skill 2. Revolution of the crit. Samoko skill 3. Wind skill 3. So this skill 1 will do a bit more damage because he has both wind skill 1 and skill 3 active. So that's nice. This is going to do like 1 million damage. Yep, 1.1 million. Pretty good. If you don't have Samoko, Cherish is a good option. The skill 1, because they spam a lot of Mazio, and you can trigger Cherish's passive and do turbo highlight. Chikakoten Repellent must be Jokoden because he has a passive that buffs damage. No damage, attack. You see the attack up this now? Then skill 2 from Samoko. Wind skill 1. So the defense debuff will still be applied. Skill 3. And we just pray. Should be fine, I think. Okay, maybe not. Don't hit Wonder. Okay, we are fine. Ready. Then we can activate the extraction. Then we do skill 2. Then skill 3. Shiva. Then wind skill 3. Then Moko skill 3. Then next thing is that Moko's attack damage gets multiplied by the points when she's a side unique. That's 1 million, decent. Then you can do a gun. Final gun. Okay, there's the final skill 2. That's a good timing. If only it was like one action earlier, so the highlight gets it, but it's fine. Okay, nice. Hopefully new record, but I don't think so. Oh yeah, it is a new record for this rotation.